Hello, this is Najito. I'm doing a series of conversation starter questions that are usually hypothetical or philosophical in nature. This question is from conversationstartersworld.com, and it is: what do you think would be humanity's reaction to the discovery of extraterrestrial life? And I usually color while answering these questions. And this is the second time I'm shooting this video because I keep getting cut off for some reason. Um, and this is the end result of the mandala that I've been working on. So I'll pick something else to work on today. I'll pick a dinosaur this time. Yeah. I'll pick this one. Yeah. So I took some notes. If you notice me looking down, I'm looking at my notes. But I think our reaction would depend on the special features of the aliens. Like, are these aliens telepathic? Can these aliens manipulate time? Can these aliens go in and out of our dimension? What makes these aliens truly alien and different from us? And also, I think our reaction to extraterrestrial life would be the relationship they wanted to create with us. And in acting school, you're taught that anytime you get two people together, they have a relationship. So even if the aliens ignored us, that would be our relationship. And I think we kind of have a preview already of how humanity would respond because, we have an object called the 3-1 Atlas heading our way. That's in the news. They're thinking, most scientists, what I gather, think it's a comet, and it's just kind of a comet with an unusual composition, but some people think, it's releasing elements that are potentially fuel. So maybe this is a spaceship from outside of our solar system. I think that's what intergalactic means. I think intergalactic means outside of our solar system, but I'm not really sure. Hi, this is Editor Naja. I was totally wrong about intergalactic meaning just outside of the solar system. Intergalactic means outside of the galaxy. And a solar system is just a star and the bodies orbiting it, whereas a galaxy is a really vast collection of stars and gas and dust and all that held together by gravity. So, yeah, sorry. This is Editor Notch again. Let's try this one more time. The object is not called 3-1 Atlas. It's called 3I Atlas, and that's for third interstellar object that we've discovered. And it is an interstellar object. It's not an intergalactic object. So interstellar means between stars. So I was probably a little more correct when I said it's an object outside of our solar system, because if it's not intergalactic, it's not necessarily outside of our galaxy. We've also had Congress investigating UFOs last year, and I think they investigated a little bit more this year. And I think in 2020, this website called The Black Vault compiled some declassified UFO documents from the CIA. And every now and then, there's a headline that says that there might be evidence of some or another microscopic extraterrestrial life form on another planet. And so far, I would say that humanity as a whole does not have a really big reaction to any of this stuff. I do think that would change if aliens really made their presence known. Like if they stopped hiding or if they weren't hiding and they confronted us somehow. I tend to think that aliens do exist and that they're just hiding. So that's my bias. I don't have evidence for that. It's just my personal bias. But I'm assuming also that these aliens aren't going to be unfriendly. I think we have nothing to offer them that they couldn't get or make more easily closer to home. If they're advanced enough to get to Earth, I think that if they did want something from us that they couldn't get back home, it would probably be related to something educational, maybe something to do with, our biology or the other biological life forms on Earth. Um, Going back to the 3-1 Atlas news, my best friend introduced me to that topic, and he seemed a little concerned that it was unfriendly aliens. And I was like, why are you scared they're going to wipe us out? You have like a maximum of 30 years left um, before you die anyway. And on top of it, is what we have right now really worth saving? I mean, it's not worth saving to a lot of people. I imagine that aliens spending all this time and energy to get to Earth would probably treat us as having more value than our leadership treats us. That's just, um, I don't know. That's just some assumptions I'm making. But so when I think of humanity's response, I think of the common people's response and I think of the official leadership's response, or the official response from leadership. And boy, the thought of a few people at the top messing it up for the rest of humanity with these aliens scares me. I think the potential for that could be high. I think ordinary people would be somewhat enchanted by a UFO hovering over New York or having aliens walk around New York or something. Um, but I do think they'd go on with their previous lives. Um, I mean, you hear about how I think this is something from like the 1950s. You hear, like in films, people, the government especially, saying, oh, well, the people would go into a mass panic. We can't let that happen. We can't leak information about these UFOs and aliens. I don't think there'd be a mass panic. I think people would do what they do. I think they'd make memes about it, join alien cults, form conspiracy theories. I think they'd keep going to work. There's this guy, and I don't know if I wrote down his name correctly, but his name is Sutomu Yamaguchi, and he survived the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombings during World War II. And after Hiroshima, he just kept going to work. I think that's what people would do, unless the aliens did something to really force us to change in a big way. And they could, because I think they're probably much more advanced. Um, but yeah, unless they did that, I think we would just like live our ordinary lives. And I think it takes a lot to shake people from living their ordinary lives. And I think it takes a lot for people to change. Um, I mean, it depends on the individual, but most people to produce system wide change, I think that takes time. Um, but I'd be more concerned about the response from humanity's leadership. I don't even know if the aliens would respect our hierarchy of leadership. Um, would they say, take me to your leader? Or would they point to like a deli worker and say, we're probing your mind for information? I mean, when you hear about alien abductions, you don't hear about them abducting movie stars or senators. You hear about them abducting farmers. So I don't know how impressed they are with the things that we seem to be impressed with, or the things that we give people power for. The reasons that we give people power. Um, but like even with democracy, I don't think we select people who we can all agree are the smartest and most competent among us, who will do the things that increase our quality of life. And, would a really advanced civilization forgive the mistakes that flawed leadership would probably make? Maybe even big mistakes like with aggression or something. I hope they would forgive us. I assume that they would already have an idea about human nature before they got here. Or why wouldn't they just stay in hiding? Um, so yeah, again, there's my bias with thinking that aliens are here and they're just hiding. But um, I'm gonna color this in. I'm gonna check to see if my recording is still going. It looks like it's still going, so I'm okay. Yeah, I don't know what kind of dinosaur this is. Um, it looks like a little dragon. Should I make it green or should I make it? I'm gonna make it purple. It's purple. I got two shades of purple. I got a redder one and I got a more blue one. Okay. Well, there's its belly. The belly's usually lighter than the outside, so maybe the outside we can start with a darker color. I mean, when we go to like recreate dinosaurs and that kind of thing, we usually pattern the skin and the feathers and the colors of the fur and that kind of thing on modern animals. So I guess I'm doing that too. So, earlier I said something kind of pessimistic about, oh, that's, no, that's too close. That's good. I said something about how, for a lot of us, we probably don't have something worth saving from the alien apocalypse. But, what I think makes Earth worth saving from hostile aliens? The pumpkin spice latte I had this morning really gives me the sense of nostalgia when I have a pumpkin spice latte. I love that feeling because it's like one nice thing, like a pumpkin spice latte, then just kind of cascades into um, kind of the opposite of allowing stress to overwhelm you. Um, it cascades into all these associations with the beauty of the fall leaves and going for a walk and seeing the trees change and the crisp chill in the air, and wearing cozy sweaters that keep your core warm, but the rest of you, you just get this little bit of coolness, and the contrast is really nice. So I don't know. No, it needs to be more different. So I think there's always something beautiful about just nature and creation. You might not be in the right mindset to appreciate it, but nature really is beautiful and amazing. I do believe that. Um, what is that? What is that supposed to be? What is that supposed to be? It's different from these scales. I want to say that that's like a little hemipenis flap. No, that's a foot. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's his little foot. Whoop, whoop. And that's the matching foot. Okay. Because this is a cartoon. So we can take creative license like that. Okay. Well, on that note, I'm going to leave this off here. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that you will leave your comments about this question and anything I've said in the comments section. And I hope you'll join me for another video later. Bye.